She wasn't just the most beautiful woman in the world. She was a master of psychological warfare. She spoke 9 languages, executed her own siblings, and once drank a $15 million cocktail just to win a bet. But what if I told you the face we see in movies is a lie? That she wasn't even Egyptian? Today, we decode the real Cleopatra.
I will not pray.
The Perfumed Ghost. Imagine you are Mark Antony, the most feared general in Rome. You're waiting to scold a defiant Egyptian queen, but before you see her, you smell her. The air turns thick with roses and incense. Then, you see her, not as a queen, but as the goddess Venus herself, reclining under a canopy of gold. History wants you to believe she won because of a pretty face. But history was written by her enemies. Today we peel back the Roman propaganda to find the real Cleopatra, a cold-blooded strategist, a linguistic genius, and a woman who played the world's most dangerous game of chess, and almost won. A Greek mind in an Egyptian mask. Go back to her childhood. She is 18, her father is dead, and her 10-year-old brother and husband has kicked her out into the desert. She sat in the dust of the Syrian desert, an exile. Most would have surrendered. But Cleopatra was a Ptolemy, a dynasty of Macedonian Greeks who had ruled Egypt for 300 years like gods. She spent her exile not crying, but studying. She was the only one in her family who could speak the language of the animals, the native Egyptian tongue. She knew that to rule Egypt, she had to become Egypt. She didn't just wear gold, she wore meaning. She adopted the iconography of Isis, the mother goddess. She wasn't just a politician, she was a living religion, and she was about to use that divine image to seduce the most powerful man in the world, Julius Caesar. Caesar is locked in the palace of Alexandria. Cleopatra's brother has the city surrounded. She couldn't walk through the front door. She'd be beheaded. So she hitched a ride in a laundry bag. Imagine Caesar's face. He's a 52-year-old battle-hardened dictator. Suddenly, a 21-year-old girl rolls out of a bundle of linen, covered in dust, but radiating intellect. She didn't beg for her life. She offered him the keys to the wealthiest kingdom on earth. She used Caesar to kill her brother. She watched as her husband drowned in the Nile under the weight of his golden armor. She was now the undisputed pharaoh. But she wasn't done. She followed Caesar to Rome, living in his villa, flaunting her power in the face of the Roman Senate, and sparking the jealousy that would eventually lead to Caesar's assassination on the Ides of March. Caesar is dead. Rome is in chaos. Mark Antony is the new alpha. If Caesar was the brain of Rome, Antony was the muscle. And Cleopatra knew exactly how to handle muscle. She didn't just want a lover. She wanted a protector for her son, Caesarion. The infamous dinner. Antony was a man of excess. Cleopatra decided to out-excess him. She bet him she could host a dinner costing 10 million sesterces. He laughed. After a normal meal, she called for a cup of high-acidity vinegar. She wore the ancestral pearls, 2 of the largest gems in human history, passed down from the time of Alexander the Great. Scientific recreations show that high-concentration vinegar can dissolve calcium carbonate. As the pearl turned into a white slurry, she drank it. She didn't just win a bet. She told the Roman Empire, "Your life savings is my Tuesday night cocktail." The ugly genius. So, was she a bombshell? Let's look at the evidence. The Roman historian Plutarch wrote, "Her beauty was not in itself altogether incomparable, but the contact of her presence was irresistible." In other words, she was a 10 out of 10 in charisma, but a 6 out of 10 in looks. Her real power was her voice. Ancient texts say it was like an instrument of many strings. She could talk about philosophy, military logistics, and international trade in 9 different languages without an interpreter. Rome was terrified of her. They didn't call her a queen, they called her a whore and a witch because they couldn't admit that a woman was outsmarting their best generals. The end game, the serpent's kiss. The Battle of Actium is lost. Antony is dead in her arms. Octavian is at the door. Cleopatra knew Octavian wouldn't be seduced. He wanted to parade her through Rome in chains. For a woman who lived as a goddess, that was a fate worse than death. She staged her final performance. She dressed in her finest royal robes, held the crook and flail, and let the venom take her. This is the final mystery. Was it an Egyptian cobra or a poisoned hair needle? We may never know. She vanished into the sands, leaving Rome with a conquered Egypt, but a legend they could never truly kill.
Her tomb remains hidden, perhaps under the sea or deep beneath the sand of Egypt.